Hey everyone, and welcome back to Bridging the Gap. My name's Alvin. I lean right on most issues, and I'll be representing the Republican side.
Hello, I'm Luke. I'm a Democrat who leans left on most issues, and I'll be representing the Democratic side. Now, in this video, it'll be a 2020 rematch between incumbent President Joe Biden up against former President Donald Trump in a 2024 presidential election speculation video.
Yeah, so I think it's pretty clear at this point that if Joe Biden does decide to run for president, he's going to win the nomination. No major Democrat's going to be opposing him as the incumbent president, and technically he's declared to run. It might change in the future with how he's going to be 82, but for now we can say that Joe's going to run. And Trump right now, he has a pretty high chance of filing for president before 2023. That's this year. He already has a 50% chance of filing for president. And it's pretty clear that Trump's going to run from how he's been hinting at running for president and all that. Technically, Ron DeSantis has a higher chance of being the presidential nominee on the betting odds, but in my opinion, I think Trump's going to be the nominee in 24 unless he dies, right, Luke?
Oh God, um, that's dark. But uh, despite like them both being like old geezers, it looks like Biden
Yeah.
is adamant about running for re-election, and Donald Trump has also dropped a lot of hints about 2024 run, and a lot of people close to him are saying it's almost guaranteed now after that Mar-a-Lago raid. So yeah, crazy times. So
Yeah.
yeah, in this video we're going to be looking at each state and kind of seeing which way they'll go.
Yeah. So here, I'm going to be putting President Biden and Kamala Harris since it's probably going to be Harris as his VP next time. For the vice president, what
Oh, for
do
Trump,
you want to put? I'm thinking like Kim Reynolds or something. So,
Kim Reynolds. You think Kim? Honestly,
do you think
maybe I could see. Oh gosh, maybe Ron DeSantis, dude. It
Ron
can't be Pence
DeSantis?
anymore. Pence, I don't think Pence is making a return in the 2024
Yeah,
ticket.
Pence isn't making a return, and DeSantis isn't.
Maybe Nikki Haley. You
Yeah.
never know.
Okay. I mean, I've seen some speculation around Reynolds
I
recently.
mean, yeah, you know,
So
internal Republican
yeah.
politic more than me.
So
So
let's put Reynolds just for fun. Yeah, just I think DeSantis is gonna go for his own 28 run if Trump runs in 24 because
mhm.
he's just strong like that. And there's been some speculation in conservative circles around Reynolds, especially in like the Trump base. So here we go. We filled out all the safe states that we feel have no discussion. There's a few other safe districts and states that we want to
Yeah,
just touch on for a few seconds. South Carolina, um, most prominently.
yeah.
In South Carolina, Trump won in 2020 by 11.7, which is down by around 3 points. It could go within 10 next time. Do you think we should be putting this as likely at all?
Actually, I think South Carolina has been like a long time conservative state. I do not really see, uh, yeah, like I think it'll stay as red as it was in 2020. Maybe even go more red with Biden's low approval rating. Um,
Yeah, I agree. I think it's gonna stay around 11 points.
mhm.
But this could be within nine, like doesn't really matter. It's not gonna flip. And then we have Nebraska's first district, which got redistricted, right, Luke?
Yeah, it did. In redistricting, it went from roughly Trump plus 15 district to a Trump plus 11 district in 2020. That makes it closer, but I still think Trump will keep the upper hand in that district and keep that a solid margin above 10.
Yeah, I completely agree. I mean, at the same time, even if again, if he loses, I mean, if he wins by nine, it's still practically safe. We should just put it in the safe column. Okay, there's a few more that could be up for speculation. In terms of safe states, of course, the longtime swingier states such as Iowa and Ohio
Oh yeah.
could turn safe in
Hmm.
into the Republican column, and We can talk about the Democrat column next in terms of safe states, but do you think Iowa and Ohio would be going safe red next cycle?
This is actually close. Okay. So Iowa went they both went 8 points
8
for Trump in
points,
2020.
correct.
And a recent poll in Ohio showed Trump up 13 in the state. So I mean, like if the polls are biased to Democrats, it's like that could be like a Ohio plus 15 for Trump. So I don't know. I think Iowa and Ohio are do not like Biden are just gonna go even more red. I think they could even be solid. Um,
Yeah,
this next presidential
should we
cycle.
put this as solid though? I mean, we have to characterize it as something here.
Yeah, I would. I would put it as solid, I guess,
Yeah, I guess I mean,
because they have
I
been
don't know.
shifting
It's
right pretty rapidly. I
very
would say.
true. This could be a very bad take if Biden somehow wins these two states in 24.
I
But
don't buy that because yeah, I mean like they've just been going more and more red. Like if you look at Iowa and like the counties Obama won in like 2012, like all gone. Like it's a sea of red now. Like it's like yeah, I do not think Biden is gonna be able to bring back Iowa
yeah,
and
if you
Ohio to
look at
their former
Iowa, I mean,
boost.
all these rural counties are just rapidly going to the right. And
Mm-hmm.
if we move to Ohio, same story. The cities are moving to the left a little bit, but just look at this rural shift. The white
Yeah.
working class is just absolutely moving.
Is that from 2020 to 2016 to
2016 to
2020?
2020, it's absolutely
Yeah,
unreal
still moving right.
how
Yeah,
all
it's
these
crazy.
counties are moving. So yeah, we put these in two and solid. Could be likely. Again, it's some of those stories.
Mm-hmm.
He could win by 8 or 9. He could win by 11 or 12. Same thing. Probably
Okay.
not going. All right, and then in terms of the last safe slash likely state for the Republicans, I think it's going to be Alaska, right, Luke?
Alaska. Okay. I have some like Alaska is very interesting to me. It's a more independent state. I would say like it's been going like really like its shift to the left is pretty extreme. Like if you look at like what 2008 like even 2012 like the shift in Alaska is immense toward the Democratic Party. I mean, it's still a red state, but it's been going very blue. If you look at Anchorage, like it's been shifting like very
Correct.
fast. I
These two
mean,
are,
like
yeah, Fairbanks and Anchorage are the two main population centers in Alaska, with Juneau over
yeah,
here
and
as well.
Juneau as well. Yeah.
Yeah, Juneau,
Mhm.
but yeah, you can just see every electoral district shifting to the
Yeah,
left, except for these, counties with very little people in the rural areas.
yeah, and like that Anchorage area, like usually the cities in Alaska are more Republican. Like Trump won Anchorage in that like city in 2016 by like 6 points, and Biden flipped it and won by 2 points in 2020. So Alaska has been shifting blue. I actually could see it closening like in the next 4 years, like in 2024. I think I could see a likely margin under 10 points for Biden in
Very,
Alaska.
very correct. Trump winning this by 10.1 in a somewhat bad year for him. 2024 is probably a better environment for him, but with Alaska shifting to the left in all these electoral districts, I feel like I'm more inclined to put that he's going to win by like 8 or 9. So I
Mm-hmm.
think we're going to have to put this one as likely R. All right, so now let's move to the safe slash likely states for the Democrats.
Okay.
There's a few. Let's do Colorado and New Mexico first, though.
Oh, okay. So Colorado had a pretty healthy shift toward Biden in 2020. He won by what 13 and a half
13 and a
points.
half, correct.
That's great for
Yeah, up from
Colorado
Clinton
rather. Yeah.
+5 to Biden plus 13.5.
Yeah, Colorado. Yeah, that's a great shit. I mean, that's pretty good. If he keeps that up, like I could see like if Denver like keeps trending blue, like I think even Biden's unpopular. I think he could stay solid. Like I think like yeah, you could just look at the shifts. It's insane
Yeah,
all across the state.
it's absolutely unreal. There's like a few counties that barely move to the right. I think I'm inclined to put this as safety, right, Luke?
Yep, I would second that.
Safety. New Mexico is less clear, for sure.
Mm-hmm.
New Mexico used to be more blue than Colorado, with Colorado being somewhat of a swingier state. But if you look at these trends, it's really unclear what's happening here in New
Yeah.
Mexico. These urban areas are shifting a little bit to the left here, but you can't really say that that's because of demographic shifts, because, of course, Biden won 2020 and Trump won in 2016. And if you look at this Jackson June map, of course, Clinton won by 8.2, but it's also funky because, of course, you had Gary Johnson, who's from New Mexico, and he won almost 10% of the vote there. And of course, without that libertarian candidate, Biden won by 10. You can't really be sure. And
Mhm.
New Mexico this year has a competitive governor's race. If that goes Republican, you could see it shifting to the right a little over
Yeah.
time. This one I'm much more unsure about compared to Colorado. I'm just gonna defer to whatever you want.
I
Safe or
think
likely?
I do think New Mexico could be within like a one digit margin. I think it could be a likely stay here because I mean
Yeah,
with Republican gains with Hispanics and Biden only getting like 10.8% of the vote, which is like 0.8 like into the solid margin. I don't think that'll hold. I think it'll slip a bit into the likely blue margin. Uh,
correct.
yeah.
All right, there we go. Let's go likely blue on this one. So that just leaves us with Virginia here, correct? With the last safe slash likely. This one is really interesting to me. If we zoom out here and go to the Virginia shifts, you saw in 2020 that most of the counties shifted to the left by a
Mm-hmm.
decent chunk, 5 to 10 points everywhere across the board. If you check the maps, you'll see that Clinton only won by a little over 5 and Biden won by 10.1. You also know that now Virginia has a Republican governor that's been pretty feisty on the culture war issues. And
Yeah.
when the culture war goes crazy, the state usually shifts to the right, as you can see in Florida. So I think personally, this one's probably like more likely than safe.
Yeah, I think I would agree with that. I mean, yeah, Biden won the state by 10.1, again, like barely in that solid margin. Um, yeah, I do not think Trump could win Virginia.
No,
I think the
no way.
state's way too blue. I mean, I think the only reason Youngkin won is because Republicans had like enthusiasm on their side for that governor's
Yeah.
race, and it
And
was
he
of
ran
course an
an
off year.
excellent campaign tailored to Virginians, not a Trump style campaign at
Yeah,
all.
that's true. That's true.
So
Yeah, he
yeah,
did
we're gonna
maintain
go
his
likely
distance in that sense.
blue on
Oh,
Virginia.
and another thing we should also maybe include in this is the Maine second district.
Maine second district, you're right. Maine second district in 2020 was a likely margin. But hasn't it been redistricted to more blue?
It's a little more blue. I think it goes from like a 7 point Trump win to a 6 point Trump win. Uh,
Mm,
I think it still stays in a likely margin for Trump. It's a
yeah,
pretty rural
I
district.
don't think this goes safe. All right. Now that we have those down, we can head over to the likely Democrat states, or at least what we think we can agree on the likely Democrat states. I think we can start with Minnesota. Um, this could be a lean margin as well, but personally, I'm more inclined to say that this is a likely blue margin. I mean, Biden won by 7.1, and the the Minneapolis, St. Paul, Twin Cities area has just been shifting to the left. It doesn't matter
Hmm.
if it's been burned to the ground by protest, it just keeps shifting to the
Oh
left.
God.
And, I think it's beyond moving backwards. It moved to the left by 6 points over the course of 4 years. And the county shifts, if we look at them, are just as drastic here in the Twin Cities area, which is basically where all the population is located. And
Hmm.
also, of course, up here in Duluth. But personally, I think this is a likely blue margin, and if you think it's lean, we can put it there. But
I think I would concur with you here. I think this is going to stay a likely Democratic
Likely
state.
margin.
It's voted Democrat. I believe the longest of any state, like surviving even Reagan's waves. Yeah.
Correct. Yep.
Okay.
And yeah,
what do we go next?
I think we should go to Florida next, because Florida is probably one of the states that one of the final states here that we could potentially characterize as likely of either party. And obviously that would be likely Republican. In my opinion, I think Florida is going to go likely Republican and not lean Republican. Obviously it's going to be within those two. In 2020, Florida won by 3 points, and in 2016, Trump only won by one, and that's with Biden winning the election. So this one has been shifting to the right. DeSantis has been accelerating that growth in the Miami-Dade area and the Miami Palm Beach area. There's practically no counties other than this Jacksonville area that's shifting to the left, and Hispanics, Cuban Americans have been moving Miami to the right by a large margin. I mean, we thought that when Miami-Dade was getting counted in 2020 that there was a counting error with how much ground Trump had made up, right?
Yeah, I know.
So
It's a lot.
it was absolutely unreal. In 2020, this Hispanic shift is just going to continue. Liberals are going to keep moving out of the state if they don't like DeSantis's policy, and conservatives are going to flood in from California. I think this is going to be a likely red state, Luke.
Yeah, I think it would be. I think this would be like closer to the border between likely and lean,
True.
but I think it'd end up in likely. I think Trump would win by 5 or more. Oh my
Yeah,
God.
continue. Yeah. And
Um,
finally, New Hampshire, probably the last potential likely state.
Oh, I think we also go to Maine at large as well after that.
Oh, Maine at large and New Hampshire, right? I didn't even see that since this is all filled
Yeah.
in. New Hampshire is very interesting here. Again, we want to look at these shifts, and obviously Trump won. I mean, Trump lost New Hampshire by less than a point, right? And Biden won the state by 7. Granted, New Hampshire usually likes to vote against the incumbent president, and that could backfire on Biden this time. But I think New Hampshire is just probably,
I think it'll stay below.
yeah, it's gonna stay blue, and I think this one's more of a lean margin. I'm not confident putting this as a likely margin, but if you want to put it as a likely margin, I'll let you do that.
I feel like New Hampshire will stay in a likely margin. I mean, I don't know. It's like it's a New England state. Like, I mean, New England tends to be more educated. And I think after all those you know, insurrection shenanigans that Trump pulled, I do not think I can't see New Hampshire voting for Trump. And same with Maine.
True. I mean, in my opinion, I can see New Hampshire voting for Trump. I agree with Maine. I think this is just the likely blue state, and we don't even need to talk more about it. I think New Hampshire can vote for Trump, and
I mean, well, think of it like this. But like in 2016, New Hampshire still didn't. It didn't go for Trump. Like in 2016. So like even after all that, I think Biden can still hold on. I mean, yeah.
I mean, yes, I think Biden's gonna hold on, but I'm not confident putting it as likely. I would put it as lean, but if you're so confident about likely, yes, I'll put it as likely. All right. Finally, we have everything else that's probably going as a lean margin or a tilt margin, unless something right. I don't think you would put anything else here as a likely or up.
No.
So let's start with the West Coast and just move our way to the right.
Okay.
I think this is the best course of action.
Okay, let's start with Nevada then.
Yeah, Nevada. This has been really interesting. If you look at the shifts here from 2016, you'll see that Clark County, which is where most of the population is moving to the right. And these other counties don't really matter except for Washoe County. Washoe. I don't know how to pronounce that. All the other counties have a few K people, but it's really just Reno up here and Las Vegas. And that's where all the population is. And these two shifts are going to be counteracting each other into the future. So, in my opinion, Nevada is going to be super close in 2024. I think it's a tilt margin on either side. And in my opinion, I'm gonna be putting this as a tilt D state for now. Barely tilt D. If it goes tilt R, don't blame me. I'm gonna put it as like Biden winning this by 0.1%.
I actually can see Trump taking this in 2024. With I mean, I don't know, like with the shifts in the Hispanic population toward the Republican Party. I mean, I feel like that Las Vegas vote can like shift toward Trump even more. I don't know, but I think this will definitely be close. I think it's a tilt either way. I could see this being tilt right. I mean, I don't know. I don't
Ooh,
know. Where
okay.
do you want to put
This
it?
is quite difficult to put. Okay, let's go tilt red just because I'm so unsure. I mean, I think you're very unsure as well. But
Yeah,
I think this is like a pure toss up. If any state here was going to be a pure toss up, it's going to be
yeah,
Nevada. However, since I just did a crapshoot and said tilt D. I'm going to put a tilt R because I
yeah.
think if you're leaning that way even a tiny bit, we're going to go tilt R.
Okay.
Next,
Um,
I did not mean
cool.
to do that. Arizona, definitely
Arizona.
not safe far. Arizona, in my opinion, is a lean D state.
Yeah, I would agree.
It's just moving too fast left, unless Crazy Carrie Lake comes in and absolutely wipes out all the voting machines in every black neighborhood.
Oh God.
It's gonna be
Well,
lean D, right?
what was the shift in the county with Phoenix? Can you find that
Maricopa
there?
shifted 5 to the left. I
Five
think
points
that's
to
where
left. Okay.
Phoenix is. It's where all the
Yeah,
population
that
is
is. It
anyway.
is. It is where Phoenix is. Yeah. So a 5 point shift is pretty decent. I think that does overcome like the slight Republican shift among
Correct.
Hispanic voters. Yeah, I can definitely see this going lean Democrat. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, Biden won this obviously by absolutely a squeaker margin in
Very tiny vote.
2020, a
Yeah. Zero
squeaker
point
margin. But
what? Zero point
I
three.
think, yeah, I think it's just going to be lean. It could be a tilt. I mean, Trump could win this as well. Any state lean or lower, we could really see the other candidate taking it if the conditions are right. So I think lean D is just the best characterization for it, just for now. Texas, if we move to Texas, this race is super interesting, and the county shifts here don't tell the whole story, but they tell a whole lot of a story. If
It's very interesting. Yeah.
if you look at southern Texas, it's going absolutely crazy.
All the
It was
Hispanic areas are
it
like
was on par
shooting
with
right.
Miami-Dade. And shit, these counties were shifting 40 points to the right. Granted, there's like no people in these counties, but
But yeah, it's
the
crazy.
people that are voting are moving so far to the right on this border area.
Hmm.
And there's a border crisis that isn't really being talked about, but these people feel it. And that's going to be counteracted by the urban shifts to the
The urban
left
and suburban shifts. Yeah.
by California voters moving to Texas and other more northern Democratic
Yeah.
states.
Houston, Dallas, San Antonio, all shifting to the and their suburbs are all shifting to the left. I don't know. I think that the leftward shift will outpace the rightward shift, but among Hispanic voters. But I do think the shift among Hispanic voters will kind of put a dampener on Democrats' hopes of taking the state. Uh, but I do think it'll be a lean margin for Trump.
Correct. I think it's going to be a lean margin for Trump as well, and I could see it, squeaking back into the likely margin. I could see it going to the Democrat if for some reason, Trump does something even crazier than January 6th. So,
Oh God.
we're just gonna put it as lean R and move on. I think that's the best course of action. And let's head over to Nebraska's second district, just because it's in the middle of the country.
Oh yes.
And yeah, you should cover this one, I
I
think.
actually forgot about this one. Okay. With it was redistricted slightly to the right, but I think Biden still would have won it by 5 or 6. Yeah, I'm not sure. What was the shift in between 2016 and 2020?
It was like 8 points to the left.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I mean, with that big of a shift to the left, that's even more than like a Maricopa County. So I could think I could see this as likely.
Yeah, this could be
What do you think?
likely. I personally didn't put it as likely when we were doing likely just because, I thought it was potentially a lean, just because of that redistricting cycle that obviously took votes out of District 1 to put into District 2 and try to consolidate District 2 into more red. If you think that this is going to be likely, I'm comfortable putting into likely, but I think there's a big chance of a lean margin.
Yeah, I think I'd determine it as likely.
All
Yeah.
right, we'll go likely there. Fine.
Okay, let's do the southern Georgia and
Okay.
North Carolina first. If I go to
All
the
right,
blue
that's
wall
fair.
states, I guess.
I think Georgia is collapsing and is gonna become a lean blue state. That's
Yeah.
my 10 seconds.
Yeah, I would agree on that as well.
Yeah, it's
And yeah,
just
the
Atlanta's
shifts
just
in
going very
Atlanta
quickly.
too big for the
Yeah.
I think Republicans to overcome.
Yeah. And then North Carolina, I think is just gonna stay lean R, right? It's
Yeah, I mean North Carolina hasn't really changed. It's kind of just sat in
yeah.
that lean R area for a very long amount of time.
Yeah, and I mean it's the same story, Trump trying to max out in the rural areas and Biden getting some slightly higher margins in the cities. I think it's just gonna stay lean or and nothing's gonna change. I did that on accident again. There we go. We have the final three states here that will determine the presidency for probably the next 4 and 8 years. It's going to be
Ooh-wee.
Wisconsin, Michigan, and Pennsylvania. And do you want me to go first on these three states or you? I'm just going to go through all of them.
Yeah. You're okay. Yeah, you can go first. What do you think about all of them?
In my opinion, I think Michigan is going to stay Democrat. And I think Wisconsin and Pennsylvania are going to the Republican by Wisconsin by a lean margin and Pennsylvania by a tilt margin. I think Wisconsin is just shifting to the right. It's going to keep shifting and it's going to overcome its absolute squeaker margin in 2020. Of course, Biden won Wisconsin by basically
0.6.
nothing. Pennsylvania by a little more, which is why I think it's going to become a tilt margin. And I think Michigan is going to stay a tilt blue state. So lean R, tilt D, and then tilt R is my prediction. What do you say?
I would agree with you in Wisconsin. It
Okay.
seems to be shifting right. I mean, like I think Trump will take that from Biden. Michigan, yeah, I could see Michigan going tilt blue, with Detroit and that, oh my gosh, that Western city I just forgot the name of. Oof, but yeah,
Ann
I think Biden.
Arbor,
I
is that
think
it? Is it Ann
I don't think
Arbor?
so. Oh my,
Grand
I'm blanking.
Rapids, Grand
Grand
Rapids.
Rapids, yes. Biden did gain in that region of the state. Um, yeah, I think Biden will be able to barely hold on to Michigan. He won by like 3 points. Um, yeah, I think he'll be able to withstand Trump, especially with the Trump. They both like I think they're both like going to be seen as kind of bad candidates, but I think Biden will be able to come out on top. But when you look at PA, I'm not really sure. I think this could go either way. Pennsylvania was really close. I'm not sure. PA I can go either way on. Like I think I could. I think since Biden's incumbent, I'll give it tilt blue, but yeah, I'm not really sure. Like this state, like
Yeah.
I don't know.
So
Like in some years it goes really blue.
Michigan,
like,
I think, yeah, we're gonna both agree this is a tilt D. Pennsylvania, it's gonna all come down to Pennsylvania here. If Trump wins Pennsylvania, I just put New York. What the hell? If I put Pennsylvania as tilt R and Trump carries Nevada and Pennsylvania, then Trump's gonna have one more electoral vote than necessary. Just enough. So if one of his electors throws the election, it's gonna go to the House.
Oh
And
my.
if Biden wins Pennsylvania, he's gonna have a pretty comfortable margin. 17 electors are not gonna throw. But if Trump wins Michigan, then there's only 4 electors have to throw. So it's it really comes down to the wire.
Yeah, looking at those tilt states, yeah, that this is again going to be an extremely close election. I think it's safe to say Biden would win the popular vote here.
True.
But
Very true.
I'm not. Yeah, with the actual vote that matters, the electoral college vote.
Yeah,
Yeah, I mean, like seeing as we were unsure about Nevada, and we're kind of split on PA
yeah.
as well. I think it's could literally go either way.
This
The
is
coin flip,
yeah.
man.
These two states, I mean, since you're literally zero sure about Pennsylvania, and I think it's tilt R, I think you just put us tilt R. This is absolutely insane. This map is crazy. I mean, anything could change here. I mean, if Maine's second district for some reason turns blue, it'd be 269, 269.
Oh yeah, in the
Yeah,
house. Yeah.
this entire map is just absolutely wild in every respect. And hopefully this doesn't happen because if someone wins by 2 electoral votes, some elector is going to not vote in line.
God, it's gonna be
And
election fraud all over again if Trump
it's not
loses
not and
it.
then Trump's actually going to have a case for election fraud if
Oh
someone
God,
if
no
an
way.
elector throws for him, he's actually going to have a solid case. But I think Republicans have more House delegations, right?
Yeah,
So,
the chances are, if it does go to a tie, Trump would win.
wow. And if one elector like threw and then a different elector voted for the other person, that would solidify the other person.
Yeah.
This is wild. Truly actual election fraud if that happens, and then 100% of the country will support abolishing the electoral college. So we'll have
Oh
that at
God.
least.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, I think
there's our
that
final
concludes.
map, sort of.
Yeah.
These three states again are complete toss-ups in our. Oh, Michigan's not a complete toss-up, but Pennsylvania and Nevada are basically complete toss-ups that we're giving to the Republicans by a smidge, not just like a drop in the bucket, by one vote, and everything else is its margin that we have on the map. So, thanks for watching. Like this video, comment down below, subscribe, hit the bell for notifications.
Yes, please share.
Share the video with your friends and family. Thanks for watching, everyone.
See ya.